themes to discuss.
Quarantine date ideas.
Yeah. All right, everybody. It is now 8:11, so we are 1 minute late, which means we're going to start. I see Netta looking at me. So that means
you're not wrong.
Netta and I are going to turn off our videos, but we're still here. And thank you everyone for coming. All of our information about Chaos Collective and whatnot is going to be in the bio. Nicola, why don't you tell them about that while I mute myself?
Oh, yes, of course. So we have a few links of how to get connected with us. So on them, if you have any ideas for plays that you'd like any help with, just email us at thechaoscollectivenyc@gmail.com. The Instagram is also the same name, Chaos Collective at NYC. And then throughout there, you can also see all of our own personal Instagrams in case you want to ask specific questions or you just want to know like any new information. So that is like the gist of it. And yeah, we're always happy to answer anything. So I really hope you enjoy. And so I think I'm going to give it over to you guys. This is my first time seeing it as well, so it's gonna be lit AF. So yeah, all right, peace. Hope you guys enjoy.
Right. Adam, whenever you're ready, take us away.
How to Talk to Girls at Parties by Neil Gaiman, adapted for stage by Sydney Dennison, produced by the Chaos Collective as part of our virtual reading series featuring Emily Yarmy, Irene Julia, Joanna Merkins, Hope Johansson, Skylar Byrne, and Megan Hill. Narration by Adam Grodman. Stage management by Netta Yagane. Find out more and get involved by following @Chaos Collective NYC on Instagram or shoot us an email at thechaoscollectivenyc@gmail.com. Lights Up on a residential street in London, September 12th, 1978. Two teenage boys are walking along the sidewalk. The first, Vic, is the more confident and good-looking one. He is excited and exuberant with a hint of recklessness. He's carrying a bag with a bottle in it. N is his slightly smaller, less impressive counterpart. He follows behind apprehensively. They look at everything, but notice nothing.
Come on, dude, it'll be great.
No, it won't.
It'll be brilliant. Girls, girls, girls.
It'll be the same as it always is. After an hour, you'll be off somewhere snogging the prettiest girl at the party. And I'll be in the kitchen listening to somebody's mom going on about poetry or politics or something.
You just gotta talk to him. All right? Look, I think it's probably that road at the end here.
Don't you know?
Allison gave me directions. I wrote them on a bit of paper, but I left it in the hall table. It's okay, I can find it.
How?
We walk down the road, idiot. And we look for the party. Easy.
It's all right for you. They fancy you. You don't actually have to talk to them.
No, it's not like that. We just gotta talk.
I don't know what to say to girls.
They're just girls. They don't come from a different planet.
A low, pulsing noise. Music muffled by walls and doors can be heard from a house up ahead. They have come upon a party. They stumble in and immediately are noticed. Girls of all sorts eye them, some excited, some bored. Stella emerges, looking like a prom queen. She smirks at them. She speaks softly, but with purpose. Everyone in the room seems slightly frightened of her.
Hello.
Friends of Allison's.
She isn't here. No, Allison.
Not to worry, I'm Vic. This is Zen. Where should I put this then?
He shows her the bag they brought of beer, smirking.
In the kitchen, on the table.
She leads him to the kitchen, and N is left on a stage, surrounded by the remaining girls. Uncomfortable and unsure of what to do, he frantically scans the party, looking for someone unthreatening to talk to. We hear a rustle in the kitchen. Vic and Stella return.
What's your name then?
Stella.
That's the prettiest name I've ever heard.
Vic pulls Stella aside and whispers in her ear. She smiles and puts her arm around his waist and sways to the strange music consisting of lyrics in a different language or maybe even just sounds. N tries not to look. He finally sees a girl sitting on the couch, on her own, blank-faced, staring almost wistfully. She seems young, yet old. The girl does not look at him as he sits down.
Do you mind if I sit here?
She shrugs. Vic notices N has approached a girl and mimes a hand as if to say, "Speak."
Are you from around here?
The girl shakes her head.
What's your name? Amen.
Wayne's Wayne. I'm a second.
That's a different name.
It indicates that my progenitor was also Wayne, and that I am obliged to report back to her. I may not breed.
Well, bit early for that anyway, isn't it?
Wayne's Wayne raises her hand to show him her 6th finger.
When I was finished, a decision was needed. Would I be retained or eliminated? I was fortunate that the decision was with me. Now I travel, while my more perfect sisters remain at home in stasis. They were firsts. I am a second. Soon I must return to Wayne and tell her all I have seen. All my impressions of this place of yours.
I don't actually live in Croydon. I don't come from here.
As you say, neither of us comes from here. I had expected it to be bigger and cleaner and more colorful, but still, it is a jewel.
N looks at Vic anxiously and he crosses over, untangling himself from Stella.
So?
I have no idea what she's talking about.
That's normal. She's probably American. Just keep doing what you're doing, okay?
So, do you like it around here?
I grow weary of the journeying, and I wish sometimes that it would end. On a street in Rio at Carnival, I saw them on a bridge, golden and tall and insect-eyed and winged and elated. I almost ran to greet them before I saw that they were only people in costumes. I said to Ola Cote, quote, "Why do they try so hard to look like us?" End quote. And Ola Cote replied, quote, "Because they hate themselves. All shades of pink and brown and so small." End quote. It is what I experience, even me, and I am not grown. It is like a world of children or of elves. It was a good thing that they could not any of them see Ola Cote.
Do you want to dance?
It is not permitted. I can do nothing that might cause damage to property. I am Wayne's.
Would you like something to drink then?
Water.
N exits, and Wayne's Wayne stares blankly for a moment before leaving stage left, slow, ethereal, and zombie-like. The rest of the girls in the party do not look at her. We hear the beat drop in the strange music. It sounds like it's being played from another room. N returns with a mug of water and notices she is gone. Confused, he sits down on the couch, engrossed but unengaged with the party around him. A group of girls notice him staring at them, and they smirk. He blushes and looks away. While he looks down, Gaptooth Girl, a teenager with dark, spiky, short hair and a gap in her teeth, sits down next to him and stares at him expectantly.
This mug of water is going spare if you want it.
Gaptooth Girl reaches out very slowly and hesitantly, holds the mug delicately, and then slowly sips the water as though it is a fine wine.
I love being a tourist. The last tour we went to the sun and we swam in sunfire pools with the whales. Ugh. We heard their histories and we shivered in the chill of the outer places. Then we swam deeper where the heat churned and comforted us. Ugh. I wanted to go back. This time I wanted it. There was so much I had not seen. Instead, we came to World. Do you like it?
Like what?
Gaptooth Girl gestures vaguely to the room.
It's all right, I suppose.
I told them I did not wish to visit World. My parent teacher was unimpressed. You will have so much to learn, it told me. I said I could learn more in Sun, again, or in the Deeps. Just to spun webs between galaxies. I want to do that.
Right.
But there was no reasoning with it, and I came to World. Parent-teacher engulfed me, and here I was, embodied in a decaying lump of meat hanging on a frame of calcium, and as I incarnated, I felt things deep inside me, fluttering and pumping and squishing. It was my first experience of pushing air through the mouth, vibrating the vocal cords on the way, and I used it to tell parent-teacher that I wished I would die, which it acknowledged was the inevitable exit strategy from world.
I don't know if I know what you mean.
But knowledge is there, in the meat, and I am resolved to learn from it.
That's good.
N puts his arm around the back of the couch and then onto her shoulders. She stares at him confused but not overly bothered.
The thing with the liquid in the eyes when the world blurs. Nobody told me, and I still do not understand. I have touched the folds of the whisper and pulsed and flown with Itachian swans, and I still do not understand.
You seem smart. Sure you'll figure it out?
N leans his face in to kiss her. She stares at him blankly. Vic and Stella enter from the right side, tangled up in one another. Vic is exuberant, Stella peaceful and regal. Stella looks at Gaptooth Girl pointedly, who abruptly exits without another word.
And
What?
oh, look, the party is not the one I thought it was. I've been talking to Stella and I figured it out. Well, she sort of explained it to me. We're at a different party.
Christ. Are we in trouble? Do we have to go?
No.
Yeah, you're just happy to have me here, aren't you?
You know I am.
Look, don't worry, dude. They're all tourists here anyway. It's a foreign exchange thing, isn't it? Like when we all went to Germany.
It is?
Yes.
And you got to talk to him. And that means you got to listen to him too. You understand?
I did. I already talked to a couple of them.
And you getting anywhere?
I was till you came over.
Sorry about that. Look, I just wanted to fill you in, all right?
Okay. Look, Vic, maybe we ought to get out of here. I think maybe we don't know what's going on here. That girl, she just told me...
Girls always say things that don't make sense, mate.
We are pleased you arrived.
See? Just keep on. You'll get better at it. Try telling one you like her hair or something. Anyway, if you need me, I'll be upstairs.
Vic and Stella exit upstairs, still intertwined. N is left standing alone watching the girls. They rarely acknowledge him, but when they do, it's only to smirk or giggle. He gets up from the couch and looks for Gaptooth Girl unsuccessfully. He wanders around. He pours himself another drink, and while his back is turned, Trilette, a girl with long hair and a huge smile, watches his movements. When he turns toward her, he's startled. Their noses are touching.
What's that you're drinking?
It's Pernod.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like aniseed balls, only it's alcoholic.
I want to try it.
N hands her the drink. She drinks it all and never breaks eye contact. She hands the cup back to him empty.
I like your hair.
I'd like to dance now.
She grabs his hand and finds a clearing. She dances too slowly for the song that's playing, with her eyes closed. She seems to be in heaven. N stares at her and tries to replicate her strange movements, but he can't.
What's your name?
Trilette.
Pretty name.
It's a verse form, like me,
You're a poem.
if you want.
She looks at him expectantly. She tries another tactic.
Or I am a pattern. Or a race of people whose world was swallowed by the sea.
Isn't it hard to be three things at the same time?
What's your name?
N.
So you are N, and you are a male, and you are a biped. Is it hard to be three things at the same time?
But they aren't different things. I mean, they aren't contradictory.
You must listen. We knew that it would soon be over, and so we put it all into a poem to tell the universe who we were, and why we were, and what we said, and did, and thought, and dreamed, and yearned for. We wrapped our dreams into words and patterned the words so that they would live forever. Unforgettable. Then we sent the poem as a pattern of flux to wait in the heart of a star, beaming out its messages and pulses and bursts and fuzzes across the electromagnetic spectrum until a time when, on worlds 1,000 sun systems distant, the pattern would be decoded and read, and it would be a poem once again.
And then what happened?
You cannot hear a poem without it changing you. They heard it and it colonized them. It inherited them and inhabited them. Its rhythms becoming part of the way that they thought, its images permanently transmuting their metaphors, its verses, its outlook, its aspirations becoming their lives. Within a generation, their children would be born already knowing the poem, and sooner rather than later, as these things go, there were no more children born. There was no need for them, not any longer. There was only a poem which took flesh and walked and spread itself across the vastness of the known.
N edges his way closer to her as she speaks. Unlike the other girls he's spoken to, she doesn't seem confused and seems to reciprocate the desire for closeness.
There are places that we are welcomed, and places where we are regarded as a noxious weed or a disease, something immediately to be quarantined and eliminated. But where does contagion end and art begin?
I don't know.
Triolet kisses N.
Would you like to hear it?
N nods, and Triolet whispers in his ear. Whatever she says sets off lights. Purples and greens cascade over the faces of those at the party. The guests, including Wayne's Wayne and Gaptooth Girl, emerge and watch, yet Triolet and N are intimately aware of one another. N looks like he might cry or laugh or sing. He leans into Triolet, who supports him while looking at him as though he is a solution. Vic runs onto the stage, half-dressed and hair askew, followed by an equally disheveled Stella.
N, come on, quickly, come on.
Huh?
Idiot, come on, just get a move on, fuck!
The music fades into something recognizable and normal, and the lights are suddenly very realistic. Everyone stares. It's awkward and tense.
I want to stay and hear this song. I love this song. You've got to hear this song, mate.
I am not finished. There is yet more of me.
Yeah, sorry, love, but there'll be another time, all right?
Vic grabs N and pulls him towards the door. Vic acts as though he hears his name called, but no one has said a word. Gaptooth Girl, Triolet, and Wayne's Wayne rush behind Stella as if to comfort her. And she hasn't moved, all her rage trapped in her eyes. Triolet reaches for N's hand desperately.
Stop them.
N?
It's no use. They wish to be gone from us now, like usual.
We have failed, I fear.
I have not. He knows me. Do you know me?
I'm sorry. I don't know what this or anyone means.
No, and you must know me because I have told you.
N, we have to go now. Come on.
Wait, Vic. You must stay.
It is a command that Vic has to force himself to disobey.
You aren't ready to go yet, right? And tell me you understand.
N stops in his tracks.
Leave him now, it's too late.
We can try again. There is more dark yet. Worry not.
Stella angrily storms back up the stairs, Wayne's Wayne and Gaptooth Girl behind her immediately. Vic continues to drag N until they're at the other end of the block. The music and lights can be seen through the windows. We hear Stella's blood-curdling, angry screams that fade out as the boys hurry further away. Vic throws up, stands and wipes his mouth.
Vic, what the fuck?
She wasn't on. You know, I think that there's a thing when you've gone as far as you dare, and if you go any further, you wouldn't be you anymore, and you'd be the person who'd done that, the places that you just can't go to. And I think that happened to me tonight.
Oh, fucker, you mean?
Vic punches N and starts to cry. Embarrassed and disturbed, he runs and leaves. N is standing alone.
Vic, are you serious? Wait up.
He looks into the sky, and the lights from the party and the weird music heighten in intensity, louder and brighter. N looks up in confusion. Behind, a huge fluorescent light comes down and engulfs the house whole before disappearing and taking the house with it. Music stops. N turns around and sees that the house is no longer there. The lights get closer and closer until he has to cover his eyes from the light. Sudden blackout.
Yay!
Yay! That was amazing.
That was so fun. Wow, how are you guys feeling about that?
Good.
Good.
Amazing.
Great.
Watch this.
Love that.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone made Neil Gaiman proud. If he knew, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so thank you guys all for taking the time out of your weird pandemic schedules to do a reading with us. I appreciate all of you guys, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching. Thanks to Netta, thanks to Nicola for helping us produce this. Thanks to the cast. And once again, I'm gonna plug all our info. It's gonna be in the bio. Follow us, chat with us. We want to hear from you. And I'm gonna end this live.
Thanks all. At Chaos
Thank
Collective
you.
NYC.
Bye.